Hello there. I'm Carl Dacius, but you can call me Carl. Happy Fancy Friday. It is amazing. We finally made it. How about that? I didn't think Friday would ever come, quite frankly. And I'm so glad it did. It's one of those moments where you're certainly happy to be wrong. Hello, Link, Friday, Tie-Day. You said it, my friend. Hellos. It's Captain Dacius. How are you doing, David, my man? Best website is carldacius.tv. You're too kind. It's definitely davidvkimball.com. That's your website, right? What's this pop? Okay. So I can get you in the loop, Donnie. I don't know the exact name, but I definitely clearly have the tunes available, and it is a bop. I'm really impressed with it. So I wish I could tell you the exact song name, but unfortunately, I don't exactly know. But we can figure it out together. I'm a fan. Me too. How are you doing, Preston? Good to see you. Friday night SmackDown. Who's smacking down who? This is a friendly conversation. Oh, it's davidvkimball.gov. Silly me. My bad, David. Best website's Google. Okay, so that's your serious pick? Google. So can you tell me why? Got him. How'd you get the gov domain, David? Well, you see, David is the government. You might be telling yourself, what? Hey, I don't make the rules, nor do I make things up. So you can just take me at my word with no questions asked. So thanks in advance for that. It's WWE. Oh, okay. I was like, how is that related to Fancy Friday? Now I get it. So the topic this evening is the World Wide Web, or the best website. What is the best website? And of course, the second question that I don't need to mention, but I will now anyway, because in my opinion, it's the most important part. The most important part of any of the questions I ask is why. Anyone can give an answer and just go, Twitch. But why? I want to know the why. That's the most interesting part. The reasons behind it. That's what it's all about. That's the substance behind the answer. So just bear that in mind as you give out your ideas. Website by they metric. I'm not sure. Oh, are you saying by what metric? You might be doing voice to text. By what metric? I'm going to let you determine the metrics that you're going off of, because there are many different things that you could judge the best website on. Is it the website that gets used the most? Is it a website that's your favorite that may not necessarily be the best by the crowd standard, but you being the cool individual that you are, know how great it is? Does that make it the best? It very well could, and I think that that's a valid argument. Just give me the deets. I need the deets. That's the most important part. I don't know what we're questioning, but I'm questioning it. That's what I like to see, Scott. You should always be questioning. Never be pacified by just generalities. Never go, oh, okay. No need to inquire. Oh, the best chef command makes its appearance tonight. Pasta algio e allolio. That's clearly what that is. I'm sure it's delicious, whatever allolio is. Product hunt. Oh, yes. Dude, David, I know that you're a fan. It's definitely underrated. From everything that I've seen that you pulled from that site, it looks really cool. As soon as you mentioned it to me, man, I think at this point it was a number of years ago, but as soon as you mentioned it to me, I joined it, but I get emails like, hey, check out Product Hunt. And I haven't. So I need to, because I know there's some cool things on there. So thanks for that reminder. Is that your pick, or is Google your pick, though, for best website? It's like Reddit for cool tech products. Yeah, I mean, I love Reddit. So I'd imagine if that's basically like a super duper special subreddit of sorts of cool tech products, why wouldn't you like it? Smash Dojo was the best website because it gave us tripping and fall. Oh, Donnie. Well, let me ask you this then. And I know you're just memeing or whatever the kids are calling it these days, joshing around. But how do you feel about the Super Smash Brothers website? Because I think it's just supersmashbrothers.com, and that's the ultimate website. And I use ultimate as in describing the version of Super Smash Brothers, not like the ultimate. I'm not saying it's my pick. As cool as that website is, how do you feel about that? Alolio? Exactly, Scott. Hey, I don't make these things up. I'm just reading it. Don't get the emails? Oh, you don't? I should probably turn it off. Product Hunt is my pick since Google's a lame answer. Okay. Why is Google a lame answer, though? Is it just because it's integrated into our society so much at this point where, anytime you have any question about anything, you just go, you should Google that, or let me look that up on Google for you. Is that why it's lame? Because it's like, obviously, this is an important part of our culture at this point. I think that doesn't have to necessarily be lame, even if it's not the most exciting at its surface, or it might seem obvious. I think that it's still a good pick because, well, like I said, they're really kind of tied up in a lot of what we do. And it's really cool, and it's also kind of scary. But I'd like to focus on the cool part, especially like, for example, YouTube, which is a part of Google and has been for quite a while now. And YouTube is an incredible resource that lots of people use all the time. And that's definitely a contender, I would say, for the best website of all time. Of today, tomorrow, the past, maybe. Gah, we have a gah redemption. You love to see it. Thank you. Let's see if I can get it real quick before it goes away. Yes, I did. Sweetness. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do with the audio output. Sometimes it doesn't do the cool stuffs, but we're good now. I like the R. I don't like that. I like Reddit. Reddit is great. Do you... Voice Gimbal. What are you talking about, Preston? I think it's a very pleasing website to eye and served a very good purpose leading up to Smash Ultimate's release, but after has not lived up to its purpose or potential. It was flushed out with flour. What am I reading? With four of a database. I'm just gonna read database of information. It could be a really cool resource, but unfortunately, it kind of feels unnecessary now. Yes, I think I know what you're saying. It definitely kind of, before Ultimate's release, was super hype because you go and look at all the pictures and all the stuff everywhere, and you're like, oh my gosh. Especially the reveals before Ultimate released, like Piranha Plant. I remember as soon as Piranha Plant was announced, I was like, oh, I want to see all the videos of that. And actually of the other characters, they were usually like really, really, really short videos. Like we're talking 10 to 15 seconds, but it was still cool to go look and go, are the movesets going to be the same? Did they change anything? Like you looked at Link and you're like, whoa, they made some big changes to Link. Are we going to see some of that with Mario? No, we're not, which is pretty much just fine with me. Personally, I'd love to see his down be restored to back in the Melee days. I'm not a big fan of the flood attack, but I understand that that's just the way it is now. And we have Dr. Mario, which is the way to go in my book. Although Mario's great too. No, you're all right, Dottie. You're all right. I got the picture. All the U2's figures. What are those those aren't those little tiny figurine things. Oh, no. Those are the things that David shared earlier today with the Banjo-Kazooie stuff, right? Let's see. Archive.org. Is that like the... Oh, wow, that was... Brian read that weird. It was, instead of it was guh. Well, thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that. Archive.org. So is that the website that saves websites during certain intervals, like takes a snapshot. Is that, am I remembering that correctly? Those are the words I'm trying to get out. My favorite site is twitch.tv/Carldacious. Taco Guy, appreciate that, buddy. How are you doing? As much as I'm sure that's your favorite site, is there a site that's your favorite? Is it Twitch without the slash with me, maybe? I don't think it's the single best website, but Wikipedia has to be a contender for one of the best websites of all time. I do agree with that as well, Donnie. I mean, Wikipedia as well as Google are just wonderful, wonderful resources to find information. And I can remember, I think most of us, who at least people around my age, it might be different now for my younger viewers, and it might, well, I know it was different for any older viewers that are watching. But I remember being taught in school, because the internet was kind of early on for me as I was growing up. I grew up with the internet. The internet was a baby, and it's surpassed me at this point. I think it's surpassed all of us, quite frankly, but I'm getting off topic. So here's what I'm trying to say. I remember being taught that Wikipedia was not a valid source, that you shouldn't use that in papers, research, whatever, because anyone could go in and change the information to be incorrect and you couldn't trust it. Well, you know what's really funny? And maybe I'm completely wrong in thinking this or feeling this way. And if so, by all means, let me have it. But I found it to be actually one of the best resources and most accurate resources online. There are a lot of websites that, you don't know from Joe Schmo and have information, and you've never been on that website before, and you just have to go, wow, I sure hope they have integrity, because I've never been on this website, but it looks legit. But see, just because a website looks legitimate doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So it's a tricky thing, but that's my feels on Wikipedia. I definitely agree that it is an important website. Host Internet Wayback Machine? Yes, that is a very important website. I agree. Brian didn't even say the second part. I know, Link. So weird. So weird. I made sure to space. Yeah, if that was a good idea, Taco Guy, because you never know. You never know. Oh, you'll see, Zero. You'll see. Speedrun.com. Oh, of course. That makes sense. Speedruns are epic. But let me ask you this, because this kind of ties in with best site. Do you consider Speedrun the best of all time? Or just your favorite, so your best, which if they're one and the same, great. If they're not, feel free to go into more detail if you wish. You don't have a favorite website, really, Scott? Do you have some that you like then? Doom, doom. Oh yeah, Taco Guy definitely speedruns. He does Wind Waker. Remind me on the other things. He plays a lot of Ultimate, a lot of Smash. Yep, Wind Waker HD, there it is. Well, I think the distinction that teachers failed to make was that while Wikipedia itself is not a source you can cite academically, it does contain sources that you can go to which are being cited for Wikipedia. You're absolutely right. That's never, or at least for me when I was growing up, that was never touched on. But I very quickly found that out as I was like, where's this information coming from? And I will admit this, sometimes Wikipedia will cite sites. Wow, that's a cite websites. That's maybe a little easier understood. But sometimes Wikipedia will cite websites and they kind of lead to nowhere. So you do have to watch out for that. But even so, that doesn't throw everything out that Wikipedia does or says. Just saying. True that, Donnie. Well, sure, Taco Guy. That's a good assessment. Oh, come on, Nightbot, be nice to Zero. Don't mess with him. Oh, heck yeah, Warrior World and Thousand Year Door, those would be super awesome. And I'm not super familiar with Rune Factory, but I know that it's a cool game too. Because it's like Harvest Moon, right? Boom, doo, boom. But their shelf life is often short. I find these experimental apps and things are often gone. Yeah, sometimes I feel like it doesn't have to necessarily be this way, because all it takes is one time and all of a sudden you've got a hit, a smash hit, smashing. That's all it takes. But a lot of this stuff will be like, oh, that's cool, but it's kind of gimmicky and it just doesn't have the lasting effect that you'd hope for. At least that's my assessment, my very, I don't know. That's my takeaway, but I'm sure that there are going to be some products that surprise us all. Yes, YouTube, Best Buy, and GameStop sites, too much. Oh, interesting. What are you doing on the Best Buy and GameStop sites? Just buying stuff? I have frequent websites, but not a favorite. That's interesting to me. I would think that if you were on certain websites a lot, that you would start to grow an attachment to them, that you'd go, when you pull up an internet browser, you're like, I can't wait to go to this site. Because I definitely have quite a few sites in mind that I'll definitely share with you. You tell them, you do. Trust me, I will have some choice words with Nightbot. I don't hold back with my moderators, so especially Nightbot. Nightbot knows better. I mean, Nightbot should have all of Google's knowledge and more. Try to fathom that. All of Google's knowledge, really? And it's going to treat people like that? I don't think so. Very doubtful. There it is. Oh my gosh. Nightbot just loves to troll people. I just like to believe that for some reason, having all the knowledge in the world has made Nightbot incredibly sassy. And, you would hope that someone with all that knowledge would be humbled, but Nightbot's a bit cocky. Ketchup and Sprite? What? I'm scared too, Scott. I don't know about that. Great. See, Nightbot's proven me right in that it likes to mess with people. Browsing Best Buy and GameStop. Okay. There we go. Link coming to the rescue with that very important quote. Thank you. Oh gosh. Got him. Got him. Well done, Taco Guy. No need to Google it. Google doesn't exist anymore. Also relevant to our convo here. Somebody with knowledge being humble. Oh gosh. Oh man. Wowee. What a zinger. Nightbot can dish it and take it. I can tell you that. I'll tell you what. Okay. All right. So let's talk about websites. Did I miss a guh-huh? If I did, here's another one. I don't think I did, but there's never a bad time for a guh-huh. So let's talk about some of my favorites. I'm just going to start throwing some stuff out there. There have been some that have been mentioned. So I think first and foremost, obviously, I have to bring up the elephant website in the room. That's Twitch. Here we are. I mean, how could I not bring up twitch.tv, the one and only? It would really make no sense. I love this website. This website allows me to create content for you and for myself, and to take part in other people's communities and enjoy the content that they're making. And wow, that is really special. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Now, is it the best? I don't think I can award it that, because I don't think it is necessarily the best for everyone. And because I think about a lot of older people who I work with or know or are friends with, family with, and they don't know much about Twitch. It's not for them. They kind of get lost with this idea of, oh my goodness.
Caldapog.
Caldapog. How are you doing, Chandler? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing lovely. It's been a while. Happy Fancy Friday to you. By the way, it's been a while. So for those of you who don't know, so Slayed by Blade. There's a shout out for Slayed by Blade. That's Chandler. That's who I'm talking to. He's not family friendly, but he's awesome. He does a lot of Call of Duty, specifically. And Chandler, feel free to correct me because you're the pro gamer, not me. But he does a lot of knife only Call of Duty, and it's just wild. I can only hope that I can get half as good in Smash, like Melee, as good as he is in Call of Duty with the knives. It's wild. And he has some really, really cool content. But like I said, not family friendly. But if that doesn't bother you, go check him out. He streams, I think, a few times a week. I think Sunday nights and a couple other nights. I can't quite remember. But it's so good to see you, man. I want to send people your way. Some in-ears now. I am. My earbuds, actually, the same ones that I've been using for a while. I was on my second pair after the first ones crapped out on me. And this second pair messed up the same way. And I said, you know what? No more messing around. And I looked into it and I found some that I really like. And these are one pair, and I actually have another pair too. These are the cheaper of the two, but they feel good. And I think they look pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, it's been great. And I like that they hide behind. They're a little bit more styling and profiling, if I do say so. If I do, I just try to do what I can. No big deal or anything. Yeah, so where was I? What's not family friendly about Call of Duty? We could get into a whole conversation about different game content, but I was talking about as far as chat, and he himself is the streamer. But, you're nailing it, sir. Appreciate it. Right back at you, buddy. Wishing you well, as always. Okay, so anyway. So back to the topic at hand, twitch.tv. So I love Twitch, but I don't think older people get it. I don't think they understand... let me just give you a for example. I feel like for examples kind of really set things up for you. You probably get it already, but even so. So I can remember the first time explaining Twitch to my grandfather, and he was like, what? So let me get this straight. You play video games and people watch. And I was like, yeah. Why? Because they like the video game. Huh. And they talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, it's really cool. And they're like, huh. Why? And it's just funny. And then I tell it, well, I watch other people too, and he's like, okay. And I guess it's just one of those things that you'd have to get on the website and try it to kind of really start to understand. Because like anything, I'm not trying to, give him a hard time, because there are things that he knows about and is more familiar with that I go, what? So that goes both ways. It's never one-sided, but it's funny. So anyway, all of that is to say that twitch.tv is definitely one of my personal favorites for my community and all the wonderful communities that are here, and some of the just amazing people that I've met, not only streamers themselves, but people like you, viewers like you that are participating. It blows my mind. So I definitely have to mention how great Twitch is. So it's 50 questions, with half of them being why. Well, why is an important question. It's a short question, but it's one of the most important questions of them all, I'd say. So moving on from Twitch, I have to talk about Discord, which I know most people use it as the application. I think most people do, but technically, if I'm correct here, it's kind of weird because I don't think of it as a website anymore. Excuse me, because it feels like an application because most people use it that way. But when I first started trying out or using Discord or going on Discord, I just used it via the web browser. I didn't use the app, which you might go, why would you do such a thing? I was learning. I was like, why do I can just go on the website? but then you learn the error of your ways. Not that there's anything wrong with using the website, but I just find it a little bit of a better user experience using the app directly. But Discord was also a very Melee.tv. Heck yes. I was hoping you were going to mention that, David. I was hoping you were going to mention that. I've got a similar mention coming up that you may not be too surprised. When I made an account in June 2015, I made it through the web. It was unheard of. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not installing software. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why would I do such a thing? But I very quickly, once I gave it a shot, I went, oh, okay, I get it now. This is definitely the way to go. But it, just like many things, it wasn't until I gave it a try myself that I went, oh, I get it now. It's so easy, and I caution you to not be this way. It's so easy to just totally write something off, say, that's dumb, that's bad. Why would I do that? And when you don't actually give it a chance, when you don't try it for yourself, man, that's just one of the most rookie mistakes you can make. Now there are some things that obviously that doesn't apply to everything. So don't try to back me into a corner with that statement. That's not a global statement, but it is for most things in life. I would say you should give it a shot. You should give it a chance. Some things you shouldn't, but I think most of the time you're going to be okay. But but Discord, for me, I started with Twitch, and through Twitch, I immediately, and I think most of you can relate to this, I found out about Discord, and I was like, wow, this enhances everything that's going on Twitch, at least for me, because it allows you to continue to get to know a streamer, because they usually create their own community, and the people in that community, which is just as rewarding. And you can do fun things there, talk about cool things. The conversation just keeps going. And that is just an incredible thing. So Discord, also one of my favorite websites, but it suffers the same problem that twitch.tv does, because I don't feel that it's really super accessible to older people, because they don't get it. It doesn't appeal to them. And I don't think a lot of them really have the interest to want to try that, So I can't really dub it the best, but I'm working on a list of things that you should not try, not even once. Well, I very much looking forward to seeing that list, Chandler. I think Discord has an extremely effective marketing video called Don't Use a Broom, and it talks about why won't you try Discord? Is it because it's new? That's like your mom handing you a shiny new vacuum cleaner and you going, no, Mom, I don't need that. I have a broom. Don't use a broom. Use Discord. That's great. I love that. I still think that, unfortunately, even as good as that analogy is, people are just, especially with new technologies, it's just tough. So doing the work that I do, I regularly will see someone doing something in an ineffective, unfun, maybe even a tedious, long-winded way. And I have an easy solution. I'm like, hey, there's a program that you can use, or you can do this, and it'll make your life better. It might take a little more work on the front end, but gosh, it'll just improve your life, I promise. And they'll just go, maybe later. And they'll just continue to go through the painful process, because they would rather just go through the routine of what they know, because admittedly, it does take more effort to learn something new. I don't think that's a bad thing, but hey, like anything, you get tired and you're like, this is fine. It's not as good as it could be, but it's fine. And sometimes it's good to do that, actually. Sometimes it's good to realize, you know what? I could spend a lot of time getting a little bit farther along, but it'd be more worth it to go the longer approach, or do the long way and know how to do it and actually work out better. There's a skill to realizing, hey, I should put the time and effort into learning something versus I should continue to do what I'm doing, maybe not the best way, because ultimately that'll work out better for me. There's a skill in deciding when and when not to do that, in my opinion. But ultimately, I'd say usually most of the time, you probably should spend a little bit more time and effort in getting better at that thing. It can be kind of a bump. It's like if you have a grocery cart and you go to push it and there's like a bump and you're like, you have to kind of back up and really get the momentum going. But you'll find that once you get over that initial bump of getting started, you'll be able to actually stick with it longer than you might think. And of course, you could always come back and, take a break, do it again later. But, believe me, that's something that I have to fight with constantly, where I'm like, I'm tired. I've been working all day. I've been doing this. I've been doing that, but I need to get this done. I need to get that done. I really don't want to spend this time or this effort trying to figure X, Y, and Z out, right? And there are days where I fall victim to that and I don't. But then there are days where I'm like, no, do it. And I do it. And you know what? I never feel bad about it. I'm never like, wow, I really shouldn't have done that. It doesn't really happen. A perfect example of that is exercise, which that one is probably the toughest one for me, because it's just so much more fun to do a lot of other things, as good as exercise is for you, and I encourage that. Do you like Twitter? Ooh, that's a great question, Zero. Thank you for that. You have candy chicken? Ooh, making me hungry even though I'm stuffed from dinner. Okay, so let me answer that first and I'll catch up with everything else. Do I like Twitter? I'm kind of indifferent to Twitter. Twitter feels like... How can I say this? So for me, personally, websites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram don't really appeal to me as much as they used to when I was younger. And I don't want to feel this way. It just, at some point, something changed. And I don't know. A lot of it, I think, has to deal with, especially to go back to Twitter, follow things that you want to see and follow, and people that share cool things. And as someone who's on Twitter, think about the things that you're posting. Think about the purpose of your account. Think about what you, as someone else looking at your account, what would they want to see? And sometimes those things will align, and sometimes they'll go, no, that's the purpose of this account, even if someone wouldn't particularly care. That's a whole nother discussion. But personally, Twitter doesn't do a whole lot for me. It not at all anything like Twitch or Discord does for me personally. I get so much more happiness out of things like Twitch and Discord. But if you like Twitter or it means a lot to you, that's great. And by all means, tell me why it's awesome. I want to like it more. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe I'm using it incorrectly. Maybe I've gotten too old. Am I a boomer? Have I gotten to boomer stage? Have I been a boomer this whole time? I don't know. I sure hope not. Well, you know what? Why does it matter? Why is it a bad thing to be a boomer? Why did that even become a thing? It isn't a bad thing to be a boomer. Let's just address that real quick while this turn of events happened randomly. I didn't make this happen. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so let me see what David said a while ago. 1,000%, 1,000,000%, Carl. You sound like someone working in IT. It's also the story of my life. So I'm sure you were talking about when I was trying to explain how to make something better. Yes. Taking a minuscule amount of upfront effort to save you literally hours of your time is so worth it 99% of the time. I couldn't agree more. Spoken like you're me. And I get some older people may not get it and stuff. Yes, it's a battle. It's a battle. There's an easy way. Yeah, that can be tricky in itself, Scott, when you've got certain things on paper, or sometimes you get really, really frustrating situations where you have people who are, I don't know, managing, or they're in some role of power, and they might be far up the chain from where you're at, but they'll make rules on what your managers can do, or they'll make rules on what you can do, and they aren't really in line with reality. Like they might think like, I've heard things about, for example, I don't know, administrators or even farther up. Like, so the way things work in schooling stuff, from what I understand, is you have a district office, which handles like a county or whatever. And then you get to a specific school and you have an administrator, like a principal, and then you have the teachers, right? Well, the administrator or principal is pretty in loop with what teachers have to deal with. Matter of fact, a lot of principals actually have been teachers. So they get it, right? Well, sometimes the people above the principal, like at the district office or whatever, they're not teachers at all. I don't know what degree they have, but they're not teachers. They're not familiar with a lot of the things that teachers have to do and that kind of thing. But they're the people that make some of the rules. That also happens in government. I don't want to get into all of that, but it happens, right? I just wanted to acknowledge that kind of stuff happens. And it's frustrating when you've got people who are in the thick of it trying to deal with stuff, and then certain things might say, oh, you do it this way, or there are these regulations. And sometimes those regulations are good, and sometimes they're not. And it's a battle. That's basically what I'm touching on. Hi there, Cyber. Happy Friday to you. Live feed of Carl. Yeah, with the boomer thing. Beautiful. What's frustrating is trying to rip out the floor. Oh. And this guy's trying to tell us how it works. Yeah, those are fun times too, when you've got people that are like, let me tell you how to do it, even though I haven't read the manual. Former teacher. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good, Carrie. I'm happy to hear that. You're going to be better off when you have someone who understands the jobs that they might be overseeing, of course. That's the fear to me, is that you have someone in a position of power that controls things that they don't know the inner workings of or the logistics of. That sounds like a very dangerous place for that person to be, for the people below them. Just saying. We're not quite there yet, Zero. If you do a quote list, exclamation quote list, you can see all the quotes if you like. Well, Scott, hey, take it easy, buddy. Grab yourself a nice glass of water, maybe, and kick your heels up and just listen to the sound of my soothing voice. At least I hope it's soothing. Well, I hate to hear that, Carrie. That's no good. So back to websites. So let's see. Let's kind of go through the roundup. By all means, guys, as always, I highly, highly encourage you to take part or share your favorite websites, because that's what it's all about. I want to hear your thoughts, but I'll progress as usual. So I talked about Twitch, of course. By extension, I mentioned Discord. Twitter got mentioned, and so I feel like I covered Twitter, I covered Facebook, I covered Instagram, all kind of in the same swing, because really they're all kind of different flavors of the same thing to me. They don't feel all that different. And you might very much disagree with that, and I get it. I mean, I'm not saying they're exactly the same, because they're not. That's why I said different flavors. But they generally feel very similar to me. Oh, TikTok. TikTok, I would say, is probably in that realm too, but I really don't feel qualified to really comment on TikTok, because I've interacted with it very little. Very, very little. Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Cyber, because I'm going to bring up that website very soon. How'd you know I was wearing heels, Carl? I didn't know that, Scott, but good for you, man. Good for you. Okay. All right. So I covered all the kind of really hardcore social media. So next up, YouTube. YouTube is definitely one of my favorite websites, and I think easily a contender for the best website. It's definitely up there. I don't know if it is the best website, but I gotta say, it might be, because people, young, old, not old, anyone. I can't think of a single person that doesn't use YouTube. Just like it kind of is synonymous with Google at this point. With them, I mean, I know they're Google bought YouTube, but if you can Google something, chances are that's followed by, or after Google, you're going to, no, that's wrong. If you're Googling something, you're going to probably end up on YouTube. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. YouTube is invaluable. I can remember the days. Look how far we've come, guys. Can we just acknowledge this? YouTube used to be a place where you'd have 7-year-old, maybe 10-year-old kids recording into Audacity, or if you were lucky. Before that, it was the notepad coming up on screen and hello via text. Today, I'm going to show you how to open up a Microsoft Word document. You know, that's what YouTube tutorials used to be, right? Not anymore. Content on YouTube has just, it's wild. I mean, there's so many great content creators, first of all, and they're all making really, really professional looking content, especially comparatively to what it used to be. And I honestly, and I would love to hear your thoughts, but I have very mixed feelings about this. And let me make this clear. Here's what I have mixed feelings about. There's a charm to what YouTube was, right? I'm not saying that it's better. I don't believe that it's better. I think we're moving in the right direction. I like that there's more professional content. It's great, and I don't want that to go away. I don't want to change that. But there was something about what YouTube used to be when good video editors were hard to find. There are great video editors available for free now. There are great audio tools available for free. Photography, digital art, you name it. It's so exciting and it's so cool. And like computers are getting to a point where even really bad, weak machines are usable, especially at least for web use, right? It's really cool to see how things have kind of developed. And I can't help but get a little sidetracked here because it's all related. But anyway, to go back to my original point, old YouTube, new YouTube. I miss that charm of old YouTube, of these very amateurish, very real videos, you know? Because there's a certain, I don't want to say fabricated because that sounds negative. It's not fabricated. It's just more controlled. YouTube is more controlled, more defined, more professional, sleeker, modern than it used to be, which is to be expected. But there's a charm to the old style, like when people would do these vlogs where it was press record on a camera. Hi guys, kind of it's similar to what I'm doing now. And maybe that's part of why I'm drawn to Twitch, is because you're very limited on what you can do live. Now, still, my videos via Twitch, without a doubt, look better than what my YouTube videos did when I was younger that I had done, right? But even so, you're a lot more limited live than you are when you edit a video, right? So I'm drawn to that. I'm drawn to that element. There's something to that I miss from modern YouTube. So anyway, that was kind of a little bit of a separate topic, but I thought it was worth exploring because YouTube is a great website. Definitely one of the best of all time, if not the best. So it needed to be mentioned. Remember when YouTube had a 10-minute time limit? Oh, Link, I remember that well. I remember fighting that with different stuff that I'd make and work on. I go, oh man, I can't go past 10 minutes. Dang it. Whoa, what a time. What a time. Now, if you verify your Google account, you can upload to the cows come home, no problem. You want to loop, never going to give you up for 10 hours? Well, you're going to get copyright strike, but sure, go for it. You know? Wild. They were actually spamming though. Hey Gecko, happy Friday. How are you doing? Oh, I missed a couple cool things. As a TikTok sensation myself, I can confirm that TikTok is tip top. If only. I'm tip top hat. TikTok is fine. So you're on TikTok, Chandler? Tell me more about it, if you will. If you are on it, if you weren't just joking. If you'd like to. I'd love to know more about it from your perspective as someone who's used it, because I haven't. Doom. Well, so was it like a Grand Theft Auto 5 Gecko ad? Was it an ad? Tip Top Diddy Kong Racing? If only, Link. If only. So let us see. How are we doing? Okay, cool. So let me talk about a couple more. And like I said, please, by all means, share your thoughts too. So I think the next logical place to go is Reddit. I think Reddit is another website that is fantastic. And it's really cool because if there's anything that you're into or you really, really like that may be obscure, right? Or you might think, man, I really like this, but I don't feel like there are really people around me that care about this. I guarantee you, as obscure as it is, chances are there's a subreddit for that. And hopefully it's a lively subreddit. It's not a dead subreddit where there are only a couple other people. But there's some real gems on Reddit. Let me talk about a couple more. Is that what you heard? Talk about a couple more. But what am I saying? But so I love that Reddit has that you can join all. Again, it's similar to me to Discord. It feels a little bit more. It's like Reddit feels a little bit like a cross between Discord and traditional social media. Not quite, but I don't know if that's the best comparison, truthfully. But it's something, and it's cool. I mean, there are so many valuable resources. If I can't find what I'm looking for via Google, probably the next place I look for it is on Reddit. And between Google and Reddit, or Discord, if you find the right Discord, I feel like it's a little bit harder to search around Discords because you're limited in the number of Discords you can be in, and you can't exactly search through Discords like you can via Reddit. But I definitely think Reddit is worth mentioning. I find Reddit really entertaining with all the different posts that people make. So I definitely think that's worth mentioning. Talking about the N64 Falcon voice lines. What did you think he said when you said Falcon Punch? No, I still think he said... he said what am I saying? He said Falcon Punch. He said Falcon Punch. Now he says it different. It's a different recording than what's used in Melee onward, but he is saying Falcon Punch. I think what you're wanting me to talk about, Matt, is what Jeff Manning sounds like he's saying when he says Captain Falcon. He's saying Captain Bauman. I'm telling you, go listen to it. You're not going to be able to unhear it because that's what he's saying. He's saying Captain Bauman. That's exact. Captain Bauman. That is what he's saying. I know that's what you're talking about too. But so Reddit's great. So let me talk about just a few more, and then we can let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. I'll tell you the best website ever. Maybe. Let it be. Boom, boom, boom. So one I definitely want to talk about that I just put here is called Blippy. And this is a website that our very own David V. Kimball has made graciously and wonderfully. It links to pretty much anything you could ever want and need. Want and need for playing Melee. And that is such a gift. I think, as someone who thinks Melee, or knows Melee is the best game of all time. So it's a great resource, and I highly recommend you check it out because it links to other websites that are great, like Reddit, like slippy.gg, which is also worth mentioning. So yeah, please check it out. I think it's wonderful. And also with melee.tv, you've got, I think melee.tv actually links to David's channel unless he changed it. But if you go to diet.melee.tv, that links to a wonderful, very accessible mod of Melee for my peeps who are on low-end hardware. That's right. You could probably still play Melee. It is wild. And kudos to that team and all the wonderful people. There are 3 versions. Yep, there's Crystal Melee, there's Diet Melee 64, and then there's Diet Melee Classic. I can remember when there was only one Diet Melee, and it was just called Diet Melee Alpha. They just said Diet Melee, but okay, he changed it to that. At one point, Melee.tv just linked to David's channel, but that makes sense that he would change it to that. So, with all of that said, I think now, with me talking about Blippi.gg, which for me right now, so well, let me say this. I think I have to give the best website ever to YouTube. I have to give that. But I have to say my favorite website right now is Blippi.gg. Easy peasy. Because I love it. I love that it's helping lead the way. I don't know if lead the way is the right word, but it's certainly allowing people who want to get involved, want to learn, want to play Melee, to play Lay. It's great. And I'm so grateful for David for doing that. I know so many other people are too. The Gust of Hust. Husts? The Gust of the Guz of Hust? I don't know. Guh is what I'm trying to say. Oh, hello, Delay. Okay. But I love that site. I think it's great. And I think that is the perfect segue into the game we're playing this evening, which you might have guessed is Melee. So that is what we're going to play tonight. So my favorite is Blippi.gg. So let me change the game. And by all means, we can play Lay. We can play Lay all night long. Well, technically not all night, but you get it. All right. Let us fade out the fancy schmancy music and thank Tony. Well done, as always. You are pristine, my man. Let's get right to it. And suddenly the music cuts in 3, 2, 1. Here we are in Melee. So until someone wants to play Lay, I will choose my character. And you might notice something weird about this character selection screen. And that is, it's because it's the Arcana build, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So for those of you who want to play, if you have that, it would be great, because then we could use the additional things that this build provides. But if you don't worry, because you can still use regular vanilla Melee and I can play with you. It's just I can't choose the things that are there. So, all right. Hey, feel better, Scott. Have a wonderful weekend, buddy. Thanks for being here. You rock. So let's get to it. Let's see if I can play some GGs this evening. All right, let's do this. Ah, yeah. Whoops. Oh, boy. Oh, too hungry for it. Oh, wow, what a wall jump. That was sick. I couldn't get this down stomp like I'd hoped. I made him nervous and he let go. Oops. Whoop. Whoop. Oh boy. Ooh. Ah, too slow on my kick. There we go. Oh, I was very afraid there. Also, I love Ripple Star on this stage. It feels like a match made in heaven. And it makes me so excited to play this stage just to hear this music. Because it's one of my favorite Kirby tracks, easy. So hype-inducing and epic. Oh boy. Oh. What the hecky is happening there? Okay. Oh boy. Ooh. No, he got me. Well done. Okay. Oh, do tell, Link. I'm all ears. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I'm very excited to see what the dungeon looks like, or the speedrun of the dungeon, rather. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh, I missed the jab. The sunblocks, yeah, of course. Ooh, elbowed. I'm very afraid. Oh, he got me. Oh, darn it. All right, let's see if I can make a comeback here. All right, it's looking good. I haven't yet. Let's hope I don't. That's a good question, though, Gecko. Usually you don't get DMCA'd for video game music, which is nice. Unless it's like a, pop song in a game like Grand Theft Auto. That would be really annoying to deal with. Oh. Too far away. Wow, I messed that up. L cancel up. Can't do that. Nope. Oh, I messed that one too. Oh. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's it. I got him. Woo! Okay. Woo! Here we go. Turns out spring water? What? Why? Why would that happen? I mean, that's cool, but I don't get it. Hey, Cyber. Oh, what happened? What happened, Cyber? Why did that happen? That's really funny. Do you think that was an oversight or was that intended? Oh, need me. I thought you tried to knee me again. Stinker. Whoa. I love it when Mario goes, ha ha! Oh boy. Oh, I missed. Oops. Here we go. Oh, I had it. Well, that'll certainly do it. Oh, what? An oversight? Interesting. It's always cool when stuff like that happens. Eh. Oh, missed my big fist. Oops. This guy's trying. Oops. Oh boy, don't need me. Oh, wow. Great up air there. Oh, he got me. Nice done. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oops. Oops, I missed. Oh, wow. He got me with that? You kidding? Nicely done. Oh, I jumped right into that knee. He's doing a good job distancing. He's waiting for me to approach so he can punish me. I'm gonna have to draw him in, is what I'm gonna have to do. I'm just annoy him with these pills. See? Yep, now he can't do anything about it. Oh boy. Oh, jumped right under him there. Oh, I missed. Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't get him with it. Ah, shoot. Oh. Oh, let's go. Dr. Mario. Love it.
Versus Captain Falcon.
Oh, really? You can go early? That's sweet. All right, sounds good. Let me know when you're ready, Cyber, and I'd love to play you. Trust me. Oops. Oops. Oh, wow, that was very risky of him to do that. He's playing a dangerous game trying to do the up B on me right there. I respect that. Well, shouldn't have just stood there. You ready as I type? Great. Go, huh? Well, you're on after this game, buddy. Yup. Good. Meow. Whoops. Oh boy. Oh, is he gonna get me? Oh, don't think so. He wants it. Oh, does he want it? Oh. Whoop. Oh, he almost gave me the elbow. I would have been done for. Oh, there you go. You got it one. You got it. Good job. Ooh. Oops. Yeah. Good game, Irish piano. It's cyber time.
Choose your character. Captain Ganondorf.
Captain Ganondorf. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let us see. Getting a file set up, doing extra runs will take a while, mainly due to how much prep I want to do, but do have a way to try and plan my route. Well, that's cool. So what kind of prep do you have to do? That's an interesting idea I hadn't really thought about. What's allowed? Is there anything that's not allowed? Whoa, Carl, fancy meeting you here. That's perfect. I love that little happy fancy Friday to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? And if you like, feel free to weigh on what the best website is. That's what the topic was earlier, if you'd like to. 529. Okay. Captain Ganondorf, my favorite character. Yeah, easily. Good luck. Have fun, Cyber. That is some good tea. I look forward to us doing a toast later. I haven't forgotten. Doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, boom. You guys recognize where that track was from? Here we go. Good luck. Have fun. Okay. Sounds good, Link. Very dull and stressing week, but boy, I'm close to graduate. Awesome. Well, early congratulations to you. Got this, Lolo. I know you can do it. I'm doing great. It was kind of a long week for me too. Certainly happy it is Friday. Believe me. We made it though. We made it. And we'll continue to make it. We got this. Oh boy. All right. Whoa. Oh, messed that. Oh, that little up punch didn't do it. Too bad. Whoops. Oh boy, oh boy. No, my fist. I didn't die. Good. No, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Get up, Ganon, get up. No, please, Fox, have mercy. No, please, not like this, not like this. Don't do this to me. No. Ah. Yeah. Ugh. Color hexa? Oh. Entertaining. I don't know, it just gives me, tell me more. Oh, the info when I'm looking for a color. So is it just the hex color, Lolo? That's neat. If depending on what version of Windows you're on, assuming you're on Windows, there's a awesome tool called Power Tools, actually, and it's made by Microsoft. And if you have one of the newer versions of Windows 10, there's a hex color picker thing that you might be interested in if you like that website. If I'm assuming that it does what I think it does. Oh, no, not like this. Not again. Too high in the air. Heck. No, you don't. No, no, no. Ah, you did it. You did it. What can I say? Oh, by the way, Cyber, do you have the, what is it, Akina build? Or just regular vanilla? Yeah. Ah. Oh boy. Here we go. I did not do what I needed to quick enough. No, 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 not that again. Darn it. Gosh, that's the most frustrating thing. I use them already. They're so useful, but the website gives me a whole more info. Interesting. What other info? Even just for Dessing in general. Okay, well, great. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Lolo. Colorhexa.com. I'll have to remember that. Also, great game, Cyber. Let's see. Let's give it another shot. So if you have the Kana build, we can do these past N64 stages as well as volleyball, which isn't the same, but it's still cool. But Wolf's Gun has a chance to desync the game? Really? Interesting. Huh. I haven't had any issues with that, but I also wasn't using a lot of Wolf's Gun, so... Oh, design? Okay, I was wondering what that was about. All right, we'll go to Battlefield. Being an uncompleted state, so items I'm not allowed to have at the start are a Giant's Mask, Fierce Deity's Mask, Light Arrows, Great Fairy's Sword, and all the keys, Fairy's Map and Compass. That makes sense. That seems fair enough. I'm playing OG. That's fine. No worries. Just thought I'd ask because I like playing on the N64 stages. And I do like Wolf, but, you know. Nothing wrong with the OG. Love the OG, obviously. Yeah. I missed. And oh good, I didn't die. Oh. Whoa, nice. Complementary colors? Ooh, dude, I could probably use that. That sounds great. Common name, codes for the color. Awesome. Colorblind simulator. Dude, that's epic. Color Hexa? Lolo, please, man. Don't let me forget about that site. Thanks for sharing. So I was hoping we'd get some cool things like that earlier, too. There were a couple other ones mentioned, but not as many as I would have hoped, honestly. Hey, JS Grant. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I want to follow you. The Gleamish? I feel like I made that account. I'll have to look it up. What is that? Remind me. Also, what's going on, man? Happy Friday. Graphic design? Well, I'm all about it. Color Hunt seems cool, too. Is it color palette? Color Hunt. Wait, I think I've seen that. Is that where you can put a picture in and it will give you different colors? Is that something else? Can't remember. There was a cool Google thing that will like show pictures of related colors or something. Worth it. I will take the stomp for losing a life almost every time. Also, I love this guitar and this music, so good. Oh, I hate to see that, buddy. Good game, good game. Dr. Mario. You gain control of Link inside the main temple, so the climb is not part of it. Ah, well, that's probably a relief. When you step into the Lou Warp, sweet. I dig it. I can't wait to watch the run that you shared in the Discords. Okay, well, cool, Lolo. I'm interested. I'd love to see those. I really hope I remember to check them out. Open source and S faster than light. Faster than light. Whoa. Protocol support, which has sub-millisecond delays instead of 2-3 second best latency you can get. Ooh, that's exciting. Is it based upon AV1 video codec, JS Grant? Gleamish. I feel like I heard you talking about it in David's Discord, right? I feel like I had a peek at it at least. I'll have to give it a longer look this time. Good luck, have fun. You got it. Great, I can share some. Of course, man. You kidding? All the time, Lolo. It's put out by Microsoft? Oh. What? It's put out by Microsoft through the short... Oh, interesting. Huh. It's so Gleamish is Microsoft's next thing after Mixer, after they sold out to Facebook Gaming? I feel like I'm saying something wrong here. Oops, missed. Whoa, that was strange. And I'm dead. Oh, the protocol FTL? Interesting. Okay. Nice. I dig it. I dig it. I love learning about all the different codec stuff, and it's neat. Does the audio that FTL uses, is it Opus, or does it use a different audio codec, its own native thing, or what? Do you know? Because I am all about Opus as far as that is the best lossy codec I've ever heard. It's amazing how well it performs, even at low bit rates. It's wild. So impressed. Oh, no. Ooh. Meow. Say it ain't so. I lost my jump. Allows for such low latency. I get you. I get you. That makes sense. Well, Opus is low latency as well. That's why I asked. Since this is 100%, I need to get the map compass. Ah, I see. Okay. And stray fairies. Wow, okay. Man, the stray fairies were a doozy in that one. I always had to, like, search after the fact. Oops. Oops. Messed that one up. Got something for you. Yeah. I'm gonna have to use these. Assume the open nature of the company will default to that realm. I hope so, man. Opus is the best, I'm telling you. You probably know. or have some feelings of your own, but I'd love to hear them. Ooh. Oh, I saved you, I think. Unintentionally. Saw you lying in wait there. Oh. Oh, I couldn't do the... shoot. It's a really cool feeling when you're able to get that multiple times in a row. I love doing that. Whoops. Oh, I just missed. Trying to rest me. Whoops. Oh, good one. Oh. Whew. That was a close one. Great game. Let's see. Alex and I have been talking so much about it, it's kind of become a meme. So probably read something about us there. What reading about what is it, Gleamish? That sound, it doesn't even sound real. Oh, what happened? Oh no, oh, did you post a link? Oh heck. Here you go. So you have to remember, if you're not a sub, you have to ask for permission, because I have that set up that way. So you should be all good. You're not, shouldn't be timed out. Are free on, okay, great. Sweet, thank you, JS Grant. I'll have to check that out. Thank you very much. I definitely am interested. I'm gonna check that out. Cool beans. All right, where was I? Look at this surprise. What surprise? What did I miss here? The Stray Fairies is probably the one. Why no one's done 100%? Yeah, exactly. If it's speedrunning, it'll get grindy for sure. Yeah, no, it definitely can. I mean, I haven't done it myself, but it looks like it. But it's really, really rewarding, at least for me as a viewer, to watch speedrunners with games that I love, particularly Super Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time. Man, it is just, or Majora's Mask, obviously. So cool to watch them work. Does it count if I'm going to be subbed to you on Cleamish? Of course. Hey, Seth, 8-Bit Dad. How are you, my man? Good to see you. Happy Fancy Friday. What's shaking? Only things not allowed. Really? Oh, inject. If using an emulator, you must use Project 64. Really? Huh. Moopin. That they're banned. Why? That's interesting. Ooh, I forgot they have the gold option. That's neat. I want chic though. Super happy that it's Friday. Believe me, you and me both, man. Gosh, it is a relief and a half. So I'm taking it's been a long week for you too. By the way, I'd love to get your input on this, Seth. Earlier for Fancy Friday, when we were doing the just chatting portion, I asked or posed the question, what is the best website ever? And so that can be what you think is the best website or a favorite website. You know how this works. But I would love to hear about it. Oh no! Turn that Discord stream off, Cyber. Just kidding. You're all good. Yep, and we're good. It just had a moment. There we go. Productive but long. Believe, yeah, I get it. Hang in there, buddy, and enjoy your weekend. Make the most of it. Best website. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think so. That's a move that I don't see many Sheik players use, and I just love using it. So satisfying, especially in this game. Whoa, oh, what happened? Oh! Good game, Cyber. I'd say most, if not all, Fancy Friday questions have been tough ones. Oh, well. I don't, at least for me. Hey, well, look. No. I mean, I get it. I can't decide if that's a good or a bad thing. We disconnected? Oh, we did? Okay. Let's try again. Maybe just reconnect and we'll give it a shot. I don't know why it would disconnect. But I hope it's a good thing that they're tough. I mean, I tried to get them kind of in the middle of the road. But yeah, I mean, they can be tough. I get it. I'm going to cop out and say the Amazon Web Services website. That's the site that hosts other websites. Okay. Well, I can respect that. I think that's a good choice. I get it. It's like saying Ditto is your favorite Pokemon because Ditto could be any Pokemon. Well, that's still a good answer. Well, I appreciate that, Seth. I mean, that's the whole idea. I don't want them to be like, what color is the sky? Blue. Oh, but on a rainy day, it could be gray. Stuff like that. I mean, it's very limited in the direction that it can go. And with asking a pretty open-ended question, things can reach into other areas, and I find that very fun. So let's see. You know what? Roys are a boy. It's definitely a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It brings up a lot of conversation for diverse stuff like Fancy's color. Well, thank you, Lolo. I enjoyed that stream a lot. It was cool to hear what people came up with. I mean, I don't feel like that's something you really think about a lot. And I thought it fit well in theme and was just a good time. So thank you. I get you. Use WeVC. I figured. Yeah, I think that would probably be the best thing to use personally, but whatever makes sense. No band tricks. Interesting. Whoops. Oh boy. Oh. Too early. Just missed. Oh, wild. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I hear that. So you're going to come up with a run that they end up banning the tricks that you use, Link? Is that the plan? I know, obviously not, but I couldn't help a joke. Oh boy. Ooh, nice one. You got me, partner. The earlier entries, interesting. A game in the middle of the series. So could the Legend of Zelda could count, right? So like, let's say I started with Ocarina of Time. You're saying, oh, would I go back and play the earlier series or that kind of thing? Because I would say yes, I have. But I will admit, I haven't enjoyed the earlier series, like especially the top-down, near as much as I have the 3D world style, personally, if we're going to talk about Zelda. And for me, I mean, I started with like Mario Kart 64, and I certainly went back and played like the original Super Mario Brothers. Actually, originally I went back and played it on the Game Boy, which makes it zooms in a lot. It's actually like way too far zoomed in my opinion, but still very fun. Ooh. Whoa. Oh. Heck yeah, set that best route. I believe in you, Link. That is a good point, Lolo. But not for sports games like Mario Kart. Very true, very true. That makes sense. But I will say this, I went back and played Super Mario Kart after playing Mario Kart 64 because I was curious. But, you know, it depends. I mean, you're certainly not going to go back and play every Madden game. I do agree with that. At least I don't think you really should. Especially since some of them literally are direct copies with updated players or rosters or whatever. From what I understand. There was one game where they forgot to remove a texture for the previous year or something, which is pretty funny. And sad. Not the right way. Oops. Got too cocky. So I see you didn't announce my message. I will check that out after this match, buddy. I can't believe that about Madden. It happened. It's wild. You know, insert negative things to say about EA that you've heard a million times on the internet at this point. True that, Lolo. Ah, hey, great minds think alike. Ooh, nice fist. Yeah. Oh, I ran right into that one. Good one. It is a bummer. EA used to be great. I can remember things like, EA games challenge everything, and then what was the other one? EA Sports. Those were the good times. All right, here we go. Here's the announce my message. Thanks, JS Grant. Here we go. Oh boy. Let me take a swig of water before this one. I haven't even read it, but I know. Okay. I, Carl D. Acius. Am proud to announce that today I have signed a 5-year exclusivity deal to stream on Gleamish TV.tv. Starting Tuesday, March 2nd, I will commemorate my transition with a 72-hour stream called Daddy Glimmer, where we'll be covering all the happening news with my happening dudes. Thank you very much, and see you there, my glimmies. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Oh, that is beautiful. You are the man. Beautiful, beautiful. I have no words other than the ones that you had me announce. Thank you for that. If only they didn't own The Sims. I know, The Sims are so great too. The Fist, exactly. It added you. No! Oh, you missed some. Heck. What series has a region lock game that you really want to play? I remember that question. I think I said Earthbound, if I'm not mistaken, or Mother 3, whatever. I'm dead. Still in an ad. No, that stinks. Well, don't worry. You'll be able to see it. It'll be there. Third in a row. That is ridiculous. I'm so sorry. I hate that I can't turn those off. Whoop, did not mean to do that. Oh, come on. Is the most common answer? Yeah. I can't think of many other titles, quite frankly. There aren't really any region locked things. I'm like, man, I wish that would come to the US for the most part. Which I honestly am grateful about. You know, because it'd be a bummer to not play a game that was region locked. Fortunately, with the way things are now, at least on the Switch, it's not really region locked, which is great. Jeez. Man. Play that are region locked? Yeah. Welcome back. That is crazy. Oh boy. Thanks for that clip, Lolo. Appreciate it, buddy. Don't worry. Again, so for those of you who don't remember or you are just finding this out, I archive all my streams, so it will not be lost from now on. It's on the YouTubes. Good game. Game. I know, what a bummer. Yeah. Never gonna get it officially. Yeah, but I think you can find it somewhere, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, but. Jiggly Warrior. Carl Divides. Oh yeah. Green skin Yang. Ugh. No! Ah, it worked. It worked. What a great emo prefix you ended up getting. I know. I feel so grateful for that. Believe me, it works perfectly. I am so happy. You know, it could have. I've seen some people that have gotten unfortunate prefixes. Mine works perfectly because it transitions into whatever, pretty much almost anything. You know, it's great. Hey, Josh, happy Fancy Friday to you, buddy. How's it going? Coming in clutch. That's right. Lolo's the man. Put it down in the record books. Lolo.
The man. Dope.
How you doing, Josh? Let me know if you're up for playing some Melee. Oh, wow. Oof. Heckaroony. Okay, well, I hope that you only get more and more better, my friend. Sorry to hear that, but we're glad you're here, and we hope that you'll have a great time. Obviously. So the question of this evening, Josh, in case you were wondering, and if you want to weigh in, was, what is the best website ever? And if you don't really want to answer that, you can tell me what your favorite website is, if you so wish. Heck. Can I get it? No. Messed that up. Ah, heck. Whoops. No, not again. Oh, whoa, I did it. Google, I totally respect that answer. Definitely a contender, if not the winner. So I ended up picking YouTube, which is basically just an extension of Google for the most part. But Google deserves just as much credit, if not all of it, at this point. Hey, that's a great point, JS Crane. I missed that one. I don't really go on it anymore, but I remember there being some cool games and stuff on there. Whew. Oh, good game. What a Pokemon battle. That's right, Josh. It's a great resource. I agree. It's awesome. My first game is Pika. Heck yeah. Ever? Did you grace me with the first game with Pikachu ever? Oh, heck. This is going to be... Here we go. Okay, I'm this one. Now use that ruffle. Interesting. Flash Simulator I mentioned. It does? Dude, I need to try that. That's interesting. I was wondering what all these Flash-based websites were going to do, you know? Like, there was this one I used to play on when I was a kid that I loved. Oh, great. I can mention a great website from my childhood or when I was younger. There was a website called onemorelevel.com, and that was, like, the best, like, web game site, in my opinion, when I was a kid. That's the one I used to go to all the time, and they would have different, you know, Flash games on there that were a lot of fun. Oh boy. Yeah. Another one and another one. Exactly. But it was called onemorelevel.com. I don't know if it still exists or not. There were some good ones on there. There was like this kind of one meme knockoff of Zelda game called like Zelda and the Lampshade or something like that. I don't think it was the most family-friendly game, but it was basically like one long fetch quest, and it was really funny. I enjoyed it anyway. I don't know if it was really... I can't remember if there was any inappropriate content or not, but... Just be warned. Oh, I messed up! Oh, you're gonna get me back, aren't you? Oh, hey, it's rest party time. There we go, I got one. J.S. Grant, you're...
Dope.
Thanks for that redemption. Oh boy. I don't know if I did this. I think I did do this, Guha, but I'll give you another, buddy. Oh no, you just did it, okay. Oh boy. Go big or go home. Oh. You know what's happening? You know what's coming? You know what's coming? Yeah. No! No! How did I miss that? I ended up falling asleep, but not in the way that you had thought I might. Oh. Well, you know what? Jiggly Warrior still won. So, didn't we all win? No, we didn't, but it's still a great game. Good job. Pub Dittos are fun. Get rested on. Dude, you're right. Rest me, man. I got rested. I am well rested. This is the best day ever. All right, hey, you do what you need to do, JS Grant. Great to see you here, my friend. You rock. Appreciate you sharing the cool stuff. I'll have to check out Glimish, and hope to see you around. Sleep well, bud. You said it. Yes, thanks for wishing Grant a lovely evening. Bing, 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 bing. Oh boy, I bet you didn't see this coming. Well, now I bet you will because you haven't picked yet. Whoops.
Versus Fox. Ready?
Go. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Wow, what a grab. Nice. Ugh. Well. Ooh, couldn't come back there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow, that wasn't even close. Ooh. Who dat? Hey, 2 Coach B, happy Friday, buddy. I'm playing with Cyber. You up for playing some more games? Heck yeah. Oh no. Ooh, wow, what a save. Yeah. Ooh, there I go. Here I go. Boy. Yeah, looking good. You're looking good. Whoa. Whoa. Ooh, got it. Nice. Oh, I messed it up. Darn, I wanted that rest. Wow, that was strange. Whoa. Oh no! No! Oh good, licky tongue, thank you. Boom, 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 boom. This music's so good. This is such a wonderful remix of all these great themes in Pokemon. And they work perfectly together. Unsurprisingly so, but... Which one? Oh, I'm Jigglypuff. Oh boy. Ah. Ah, oof. Yeah. What mod? Oh, I'm using the Akana one, the lime green one. You can't miss it. Playing my route. There's a practice from MM, so I'm able to quickly get stuff from the planning. Sweet, that's awesome. Well, that's great. Save yourself some time, huh? Oh, Subuwudo. Coming in clutch for you. Thought I got you for sure. Whoa. Dum, 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 dum. Practice round? Yeah, gotcha. I knew what you meant. No, I did side B. No. Good game. Okay. So, Cyber, I think this is going to be the last one for you and me. And then I'm going to do some with 2 Coach B. And if you're up for playing a little bit later, we can do that too. Big rips. Yep. Hecky. Can't believe Google's really ended up with free unlimited. Oh, they are? Well, that makes sense. By the way, speaking of things like that, are they like full quality though? Because if you have Amazon Prime, then you get free, full quality, unlimited photo backup through them, just as a heads up. So I don't know what Google's plan is, but if they compress it, then it's still not as good. So for my peeps that use the raw photo format, photographers looking at you, that's the dealio, man. Original quality? Ooh, well, that's great. That is strange, Link. Ooh, I'll turn this frying pan into a killing pan. Ooh. Wow. That was bad. Add up to the... I see. Wait a second. It's going to add up the 15 free gigabyte of your Google account. I don't understand. Are they going to let you keep unlimited, or is that going to take part of your 15 gigabytes? Because that's not unlimited then. I'm confused by that. Hey! Hey! I'm so totally famous. Thanks for the raid of 1. Thank you very much. How are you doing? With the Christy emotes, I love it. Happy Fancy Friday to you. They're ending the free. Oh, they're ending. I misunderstood. I thought they were. When? I didn't even know that they had it. Oh. There we go. How about you? I'm doing great. What were you streaming today? Apex, sweet. You doing a... How were the runs today? Ooh, almost got it. Ooh, just missed. Ah, I see, Lolo. Interesting. That's a strange way to handle that. That grandfathered in stuff. Ooh, got me. Ooh, got me. Nice. Ah, well, don't worry. You'll get it. I hope you enjoy Splunky. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Link. Yeah, she was asking about the photo storage thing, and I pointed them in the Amazon direction since, assuming I think most people have Amazon Prime, so you have unlimited photo storage if you use it at original quality, which is amazing. Whoops, that was weird. Oh, what the? Good game. That last little bit was wild. Thank you very much for playing, Cyber. Great games, buddy. All right, let's see. All right, to Coach B. Here we go. Was it 8:50? I can't remember. Stream is really delayed? What's delayed? Is anyone else experiencing this? Captain Yanendorf. Exactly. Boom 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 ba dum ba dum boom 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 ba dum ba dum boom 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 ba dum ba dum boom boom. Thought it was 8:50. Is it 8:50 or 7:50? 8:30. That's what it was. Couldn't remember. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Oh, you're on mobile. Okay. Well, yeah. If you're on mobile, then it'll be delayed. Hey, how are you doing, Power? Oh, we got Wolf in the house. Good to see you, man. Happy Fancy Friday to you. And my best to Fraud, as always, if you're talking to him. I will do the Super Jump Waveland Falcon Boardwalk Punch with the Jones kick, you know? Jones kick. There we go. I just did one for you. Whoa. Oops. I told him, yeah, do it. Nice. He's screaming? Heck yeah. Wait, is it a good scream? Or not a good scream? Because I'm not cheering for a bad scream. If he's being tormented, I'm not happy, okay? Hey, it do be Christy. Happy Fancy Friday to you, Christy. Hope you're doing well. How you doing? Gonna taunt me like that? How dare you? By the way, Alex and Christy, if you so wish, the question I posed tonight that I'd love to get your input on, because you're dope, would be, what is the best website? So there were lots of great choices, and I wanted to see if you had one that you felt like mentioning, even if it's not the best, if it's an honorable mention of a site that you like. It'd be cool to hear about, because websites are pretty neat, especially less known websites. I forgot caps lock. Well, I'll let it slide this time. Yeah. Oh. I went for it. Sounds good, Josh. Give me a few to find it. Find it. I just got done with working all day, so I'm a little tired. Well, Christy, you take it easy. Just relax. Relax. This music is actually perfect for the relaxing, I'd say. So, you made it. You made it to the weekend. It sounds like, for many people, myself included, it was a long week. So, just take it easy. Everything's gonna be okay. Yep. Famous rated. It was great. I will find a good website. Oh, Gleamish. You know what's funny? J.S. Grant mentioned that site before I went to bed. Or before I went to bed. Before he went to bed. Very long week indeed. You can tell by the way that I'm saying things. Before I went to bed, he told me. They say that I'm sleeping soundly right now. Nice. Yesterday I theorized that the route will take 2 to 4 spring water. Ooh. Are you going to have that many bottles? Nice. Sounds about right. Oh. I'm dead. You got me. Been playing stuff. Play all the stuffs. Ooh, nice. You can't? How many can you get? You said it would only take 2 to 4. I mean, wasn't saying you had to get all of them. Oh wait, no, you were saying can't you? Yeah, so you're allowed to use them, all right. I see what you're saying now. I misread that. My bad. Whoa. Oh. Oh. So you can jump immediately out of this? Is that what that is? If you do it like first frame or something? Ultra! Ultra! Whoa. Ah! I also want to get Chateau Ramani so I don't have to worry about magic. So runs will have to start out the night of the first day. Interesting. So do you have to start like in Stone Tower, or can you start anywhere in the game that you want? That's another aspect I hadn't really thought about. I can't remember. I think you mentioned it earlier when it actually starts, but... Because I feel like that would add a considerable amount of time to go and get unlimited magic. Now, if you're the only one running the category currently, then that won't really matter because you can set whatever pace you want. I don't know, obviously, but just thinking out loud. Oh boy. Wow, I don't know how I shielded in time. Until you control... Okay. So it's okay to do a bunch of stuff before... That's right. Okay. So you could do that prep beforehand and it'd be all good. I see. Okay. Good job. Good game. I see what you're saying now. For some reason, my brain didn't register that very obvious thing. Prep all the gear. Good game. For 133. What is that? I don't understand that. Too Coach B. Oh, what did I died at 133? Is that what you're saying? You died at 133? Do. Come on, let's play. There we go. Ooh, nice pick. I like the purple tunic. You ready? There we go. Oh boy. Oh, whoops. Hit the back air there. Oh, snap. Majora's Mask, I think by extent, OOT you can't handle you having hundreds of arrows in your possession. Yeah, can't you only have like, what, 30 or 50 or something like that? You can't have any more than that, right? Didn't hold the shield there long enough. Not normally, no. Was there an exploit or something that allows you to have more? Oops. All right, hey, drive safe, Christy. And if you don't make it back, have a wonderful evening. And chat with you later, my friend. Thank you for being here. You rock. And obviously, if you ever want to play some Melee, let me know. You know I'm your guy. Oh, boy. Oops, I missed. What? I didn't grab the edge? Oof. Has a higher capacity than the game normally lets you. Sure, that makes sense. Like even rupees? I will indeed. Love to hear it. Everyone say, drive safe, Christy. Do it for best mod. Oh, it's been a minute. I'd love to play. Yes, it has been too long. We will definitely, even if not on stream, we'll have to play sometime. Without a doubt. Without a doozle. Ooh, ow, ow, ow. I think that counts rupees. I know it counts hearts and magic. Well, that is epic, if I ever heard so. Oh. Ah, that's so much fun. It's not very fun when you're on the receiving end of that, like any spike, but even so. Whoa. Good game. You got it. Yeah. Woo. Oop. Hit the wrong one. Hey, Preston. All right, let's see. Just for you, buddy. Then I hit on 33 and kept couldn't get it. All right, what I missed? You missed some. You missed some melee. Yeah. Thanks for welcoming back, Totally Famous. Ooh, snap. That epic music comes in. I love it. Oh, it acts like you have 0? That's awesome. It acts like you... Wait a second. Wait, even if you set to the max, it doesn't let you shoot him, is what you're saying? That's interesting. Oh! I got punched. The classic run and hide when you're afraid of Luigi. I've seen it before. Oh boy. Oh, I'm sure you have some choice words about that too, Coach B. Wow. Oof. Oh, got me. Good job. Come here. Got a big toe with your name on it, DK. Huh, that's really cool, Link. There is a max and it's 243. That's very specific. I would have thought it would have been a nice round number. There's got to be some kind of code related thing for why it's maxed at that. Ooh. Ooh, good thing my get up animation wasn't done. So long, Donkey Kong. Your max health set too high? Do you die instantly? Oh, it just locks up, so it basically crashes the game? All ears, Preston. Oh boy. Oh boy. Haha. Woohoo! Not crashes per se. Sound still works, and it recognizes my inputs, but the frame of video is never updated. Huh. That is really strange. It's interesting how certain things like that break the game. Okay, so your question is about how you become a moderator. Well, I'll tell you. That is something that is at my discretion. So there's not really a definitive path. That's purely something that I decide upon, what I think my channel needs, and so there's not really anything that you can definitively do that will definitely lead you to moderator. There isn't really a path to that. So I would just say enjoy yourself, have a good time, and if it's meant to be, it will happen, and if it doesn't, then it's not meant to be. So that's what I would what I'd recommend doing. This level is just like, it's so big, especially one-on-one. Like, this is particularly an awesome level in multiplayer, but gosh, and don't get me wrong, I love this level, but man, it's a long way to go, and it's just one-on-one. Oh boy. Okay. I'll be Pichu. Good game. Good game. Doodaloo, 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 doodaloo. Oh, I love this game. So fun. Oh boy, we got the Jiggly Warrior. Bring it on. Come on. I'm not scared. Oh, and I got hit for it. Should have been scared. Oh. Oh, too early, too early. Should have waited a little bit longer. Infinite magic stats work because it doesn't seem to touch your magic meter. Huh, so like even the code that is supposed to alter it, just what? You just don't have magic if you bring the level up, or how does that work? Oh, wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Got it that time. What's wrong, Lola? Oh, don't do it. No, no. Oh, I thought I was gonna live somehow. Yes. Get that up tilt combo. Yes. It happened a lot lately where a channel goes offline, but only on my end, and then fixes when I refresh. Wait, so it said I was offline for you? That's really weird. Is there, do you think it could be related to any extensions? Or what browser do you use? Oh. Man, that was a doozy. So there's a value that says you have this amount of magic in the reserve. I expect that value to change after getting infinite magic. It didn't. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, so there's a different value for infinite magic versus the magic you have? Like, how are those separate? Those aren't the same value? I feel like a total noob asking that question, but I've got to know. I was about to type whoa, but I figured since no one else said anything, I just refreshed. That is weird. I don't know. So it's just happened lately. Have you made any changes to your computer or web browser, or have you noticed any differences in your internet? The inner nerd in me can't help but try to troubleshoot it. I'm as lost as you are. Well, I'm glad I'm not completely alone in that. Can you just make the status of your meter, like the value we're talking about that didn't change, can you just make that infinite? Is there a way to do that? Or I assume it has to be like a limited or an integral, or not integral, integer. Does it have to be a certain number or something like that? I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. Good game. Game! Let's see, YouTube. I used Microsoft Edge, and unless it's better Twitch TV, I just have Dark Reader and uBlock as extensions. Okay, well, that seems fine. With the way things have been going on Twitch, I don't use uBlock on Twitch because of the ad stuff. Like uBlock doesn't even work for right now. As far as your web browser, you know I'm a huge fan of Firefox. At least if you don't, you do now. Highly recommend that. But hey, use what you want. And I use Frankenface Z with the BBTV or the better. Well, I don't know how to even say it. BBTV extension add-on within it. So I use that instead of BBTV. But use what you want. I reinstalled Windows like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know if I'd blame that. Yeah, I don't feel like that would do that. You can make a meter go past the bounds it's supposed to go. I can make the... Okay. But that's different than the actual value of the magic you have? Is that what you're saying? You use the beta build? I wonder if it's related to that then, because that seems strange to me. Bum, bum. Oh, yeah. No, it's the amount of magic you have, but I can't change that value to equal infinite. Okay. So that has to be a certain value between probably like 0 and the max, right? But you can control other factors, but not that value to be infinite. Is that right? Am I on the right track? Trying to understand. Boom. Oh no, you got caught on it. Ooh, got smashed. I just want to support the move when Microsoft used Chromium, and I didn't want to risk it with the dev version, so I went with the beta. I totally get it. Yeah, use what you want, Lola. Do it to it, man. Oh. Oh, snap. I can't use that menu to set it, so the best I can do is give myself a Chateau Romane and drink it. Yeah, that's effectively the same thing. Okay, well, let me ask this then. What value, can you look at the value that the game gives those things when you have drinking a Chateau Romane? Can you give it the same value? Because you might be able to do that, right? Oh, the taunt. Uh-oh, I thought I was going to fall there. Use that more for YouTube. Oh, sure. Yeah, I totally get it. I don't think I have a way to view that. Ah, okay, I understand. Just trying to think of solutions. Try to do something wacky. Gotcha. I consider moving to Firefox, but really the only factor why I haven't just attachment. Hey, look, look. You don't have to. Oh no, you don't have to explain yourself to me, Lolo. Use what you like. If you like the original vanilla Microsoft Internet Explorer, if that makes you happy, obviously I know you're not using that, but the point I'm trying to make is use what you like. Who cares, right? Like, I've obviously got feelings about Firefox and what I like to use and this and that, but hey, you know, I'm not going to tell you what's right for you. Only you know. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, 2Coach B. That's very, very unfortunate, my friend. Oh, that stinks. I can give myself unused items. Ooh, is that where you can get like that, in that cool run you shared with the 2 pauses of Majora's Mask, that Goron's drink like that? Luigi. Oh. Oh, oof. Oh, you didn't have to do that, bud. Also, do you guys know where this music track is from? It's awesome. Hey. Oh. Wow, that was crazy. I think that's in the list by the name of the item. Grandma's drink. Oh, that's what it's called. I couldn't understand what he said on the video. I couldn't hear the first word. I just heard something's drink. I thought he said some kind of Goron sounding word, but I guess it was grandma. That's pretty funny actually, that it ended up being grandma. I thought he said like Gradukes or something like that. It gives me Dr. Mario vibes, but I don't think I know where it's from. You are spot on, Lolo. If that helps you, feel free to guess off that, but you were spot on. Good game, good game. That was a fun one. I love those derpy matches. Oh, he said the Japanese word? Okay, that makes more sense.
Ice Climber.
Ice Climbers. Oh boy. Oh. Oh yeah. So I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's from Dr. Mario 64. That's where that track is from, and it's called QQ. Great track. Oh, I wasn't sure I got you there. Excuse me. Whoa. The 8-bit, I don't know if it's 8-bit, just sounded familiar. Yeah, it's I don't know if I'd say it's 8-bit. Probably more 16-bit-ish, but it's definitely like not, maybe 10-bit, a compromise or so between the two. Because it's definitely not like as hi-fi as some other of the N64 titles, I'd say. Definitely more vintage-ish, but not quite as like vintage as the original Dr. Mario NES or anything. The quiver, the bomb bag, and the wallet. Interesting. Sounds strange, but I'm sure there's a glitch. Well, can you still use them if that happens? Especially for the wallet, because I mean, you still need rupees, right? Are you just able to select that on the item select screen or something still? Like, is there a glitch to be able to select that as a usable item or something? Hey, Alexis, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Happy Fancy Friday to you. By the way, I don't know if you remember at this point, Spleeter got a GUI version. Oh, are you kidding? I will never forget Spleeter. I use it all the time. It's amazing. So I've seen there have been people that have been working on that. And of course, there are websites that are based off Spleeter. But is this like from the official dev team or what? Or is this someone... but by all means, feel free to share that in tech, Lolo, because that is a very cool and powerful program. The only issue I have with the GUIs for Spleeter is they don't give you all the options that Spleeter can actually do, and that makes it a little bit more limiting than the program's actually capable of, which bums me out because I want to be able to tune all the knobs the way that I want, you know? I haven't tested the effects. Okay, gotcha. Just curious, just thinking out loud. Yeah. How are you? I'm doing great. How about you? Happy Fancy Friday, as I already said. So, just curious, Alexis. So the question this evening before I started playing Melee was, what is the best website? And if you aren't sure about the best, feel free to share a favorite. And I'm particularly interested if it's a more obscure or maybe less popular website that is cool and family friendly. You don't really have to do the whole PowerShell stuff anymore. Just download select the track, location, save it. As far as I know, it's official. Interesting. Oh, doing good. Awesome. Well, that sounds cool, Lolo. Again, my only concern with that is there are certain modifications that you can make, like whether to use what is it called? There's a special type of filtering. I think it's like Norbis. Oh no, you fell. Norton? No, it's like I can't remember. It's like Norbis or something like that. That doesn't sound right. It starts with an N, but it cleans it up at the expense of not being original. Like if you were to combine all the separate pieces together, it's not a 1-for-1 with the original source like it originally is, but each part is more slightly cleaner. It's interesting, but so that's one thing. And then also choosing the spectral range, because the default when it first came out was basically 0 to 11,050 hertz, which is like very kind of low band, lo-fi-ish sounding. And then they had an iteration that upped it to 16K, but you can modify it so that it's actually full range, you know, and I don't need anything past, you know, 44.1 kilohertz. So that's 22,050 hertz, which that's full range. You know, basically 0 to 20 is going to be great. 20,000. So if the GUI lets you make some of those modifications, then that's great. But otherwise, I'm stuck using the PowerShell, which isn't a big deal, but you know. Oh, well, sure, Lolo, sure. Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it easier, and I prefer that, but there are options that I want to have access to, so I'm kind of stuck with that. Good game, good game. So I think I've got time for 2 more, to Coach B, just so you know. Oh, nice pick. I need to see what the fishing rod, quiver, and beta wallet. Yeah, dude, please let me know, Link. I love the stuff that you're working on and doing, man. I hope you know. Norbus, that's what it was. Thank you. I couldn't remember, my brain. I had no idea. It's very cool. I mean, so believe me, I've done extensive tests with it on and with it off. And basically, I prefer it with it off, but I like it as an option. And depending on the source and what you're trying to do, there are pros and cons to having it on or off. Like I said, if you're trying to isolate one specific part, it could be a little cleaner sounding if you use that, at the expense of it maybe being a little bit more darker sounding. And again, if you combine all the pieces together, you can't, if you were to invert the polarity, then it wouldn't fully cancel. There'd be a little bit of noise that you'd get. Whereas if you don't use that filtering, then it would, for the most part, pretty much completely cancel. So anyway, audio nerddom, I could talk about that all day. It's really great. Speaking of Spleeter and that stuff, since we're talking about it anyway, I want to mention another one that I actually think I like better. So Spleeter with the separation, I would say does better as far as cleaning up for the most part. It's probably the best free one available. But my personal favorite that I would argue might be better is one actually I think made by Facebook called Demucs, and it's DEMUCS. And it would also require some command line stuff. I'm sure there's no GUI for that. But man, so Spleeter sounds kind of underwater sounding with the way that it separates. Demucs sounds kind of more distorted sounding, but drier, which I actually prefer, especially on the drums. I really like the way drums sound separated with Demucs in comparison, because it just sounds more clear to me. And especially the bass. I think you get much more high end from the bass with Demucs and clarity than you do with anything else. So for me, as much as I love Spleeter, with testing different programs, Demucs is the best that I've heard. And out of the box without any, well, not as much tweaking, you get full band from Demucs immediately. So that's another advantage that it has. So anyway, I'll tone it down with the audio nerddom is what I was trying to say. But I could talk about that all day. Love it. Melee is great, right? Who's your main, Alexis? Oh boy. I just opened it. There's some options I couldn't tell you for sure. Oh, okay. Well, by all means, if you haven't already, feel free to share it in tech, because I would love to check it out if you don't mind. It's one called Recombine Merge Output Full Bandwidth. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that they added that as an option. Do they have the Norbert filtering as an option? Because they totally should. I know that at one point they updated Spleeter and the Norbert filtering stopped working. So I had to downgrade to like 1.4.9 in order to still be able to use it, which I was kind of disappointed about, but whatever. Oh boy. Oh, got me. I come from Demucs. I think back in the day you recommended me Spleeter. Really? Well, you know, I don't know what I was thinking then, but great game, 2 Coach B. So last one, my friend. Good game, yeah. But with the tests that I've done, the extensive testing, I think I like D-Monks better. They're both great. You can't go wrong with either one, but I think I like the sound of D-Monks better. Guh-huh. Guh-huh. Audio. All right, good luck. Oop. There we go. Let's do that music. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh, what? It went through you. Wow, nice job. I could see it coming, but it was too late. Oh, yeah. It's cool to see that turquoise on Samus. I'm pretty sure that's not in the original, so it's great to see. Should have went with the red peach dress. Good game. All right. Well, to Coach B, great games. Thank you so much for playing. Always a blast. So thank you. Guys, this has been a delightful Fancy Friday. And I really appreciate you joining me. That Samus is like Fusion suit before Fusion suit. Wait, I think Fusion launched it in 2001. Yeah, I think you're right. If I'm not mistaken. Thanks for saving my one guy. You're welcome. Good game. So before we go, I think it would be great if we could share a toast with one another. So I'm going to abruptly cut off this very celebratory, happy music of, oh yeah, we just played Melee and we liked it. So, and where did it go? I'm going to fade back in some fancy, very relaxing, dare I say,
Dope.
music. Dope stream as always. So, before we go, I hope you will grab a beverage of choice. Maybe it's water, maybe it's sweet tea, maybe it's some soda. orange juice, milk, you name it, whatever you want, feel free to grab it. I will give you a quick second to get your beverage for our toast this evening. Listen to that. That is pretty. What do you got there, Link? Hydrate. Love it. That man, Beta has some awesome emotes. Beta rocks, by the way. Well, I'm going to go ahead and explain. So here's how this will work. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, drink. You're going to drink. You can take a sip. You can take a long gulp, whatever you want. And then you're good. I'm going to count to 5 so that we can drink at the same time, since I'm ahead of you by about approximately 5 seconds, give or take. That's kind of the guess. And then we'll toast one another. So let's do it. Chocolate almond milk. That sounds delicious too, Coach B. Good pick. Well, let's do this. So two Coach B's got his chocolate almond milk. I've got my sweet tea and water, but you know I'm toasting with sweet tea. And I'm guessing Link might have some water, as he usually does. Lolo, maybe water, maybe something else. Who knows? Feel free to share. If not, that's fine too. Either way, here we go. 3, 2, 1, drink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To you, my friends. Happy, fancy, schmancy Friday. I want to thank you all so much once again for joining me, talking about the best websites, your favorite websites. Had some really great picks in there. And thank you for those who joined and played. Thanks for watching, those who chatted, just all of you. Thank you all. So let me search for a cool peeperini to rate. We will do it to it. Mega Mike, thanks for the follow. Water, gamers drink, exactly. You gotta stay hydrated. All right, so let us do this thing. That's right, Lolo is on top of it. How you doing, Mega? We're about to raid. Join the fun, my friend. So if you look over here to the right, there's a thing called Clippy Raid if you're on desktop. If you're a sub, and click that. If you're not, click the other one. Works just fine. And let's send on a lovely message to a lovely person. So let me find a lovely person. I would love to play with you, Mike, but unfortunately, I'm out of time tonight. But since you followed, next time I play, I'll definitely be up for it. So definitely, we'd love to see you around. So let us see. Oh my goodness. Well, I would love to do that, but they're good. Oh my gosh. Okie dokie. I think, oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. I've not had the pleasure of rating this person in a while, and they are smashing it up. They're playing Ultimate. We're playing Melee. This just makes sense. Don't worry. Thanks, Mike. Well, hey, if you have Ultimate, stay tuned because we're going to join this person in a second. And you can play them, and they're great. So thanks to Coach B. Looking good. So just as a heads up, this streamer is not family friendly, but she is friendly. She is super
Dope.
So, and funnily enough, her name is Jade. Her username, though, is Bowser Butt TV. So we're going to be rating Bowser Butt.
Bowser Butt.
So here we go. Let me press the magical buttons. If I could type. And there we go. So again, warning you, she's not family friendly. You might hear some swear words. But if you don't mind that, she's playing Ultimate and she has a great stream. So guys, please wish the love. Say hello for me if you will. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. And I will see you Tuesday for some more Hat in Time. Until we meet again, I'm Carl Dacius. Good night. Bye.